Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back. We are once again here to talk about EuroBowl, which is, you know, some people might think, wait a minute, isn't EuroBowl over for the year? And yes, it is. But that's not reason. That's not reason enough for us to stop talking about Blood Bowl because I like talking about Blood Bowl. So we're gonna have the captain of Team Finland, Tonalt, who has been here before the tournament as well, and we're gonna go through some of his thoughts and how things went in the in the tournament, a sort of a tournament overview or review, whatever you want to call it. So once again, thank you for being here, Tonalt. It is once again a pleasure.
Hey, great to be here.
Glad to hear it. And just so everyone knows, I didn't force him to be here. He's here of his own volition. Like those rumors can stay stay where they belong.
No, if someone is willing to talk about Blood Bowl online, of course I'm gonna be there. No worries.
Very good, very good. But I think without further ado, uh, let's dive right in. As people can see on the screen, Finland did end up getting the 7th place in out of 30, which is by all accounts a very good showing, I think, for Team Finland. And the team record was four wins in rounds and 0 draws and two losses, and their personal record was 3-1-2, I believe, with Amazons.
Exactly, yeah.
So
It's a respectable record, but there's always room for improvement.
yeah, especially when Amazons was one of like the most popular team in like amongst all teams. So I feel like Amazons was one of those teams that people were expecting to be like the heavy hitters in this format. So
Exactly, and I was hoping for my record to start with a 4, and but that's the thing. That's the record that I got this time. I got a few upsets and few things that I could have improved in my own play as well. So there's all. Luckily, there's always next year.
as there always is. Hello, X United. Glad to have you. And yes, I mean, I wouldn't be saying I'm grilling the cap. I'd be grilling the captain if we were like 15 and below. Like at that point, I'd probably be calling this grilling him. For now, I'm just interviewing him. But yeah. I think without further ado, we can go into what were your thoughts aside from enjoying. Hopefully, you enjoyed the local city of Budapest.
Oh, what I thought about Budapest?
Yeah, as in like
Yeah.
hopefully you'd had a great time even without the Blood Bowl tournament.
Yeah, I haven't been there. It was my first time, and I have to say that I was positively surprised. It had this a little bit of an like East European vibe to it, but it's a very functioning city. The public transport worked everywhere, and I think everything worked in the city. So it was I really enjoyed it. It's nice nightlife, good food, and everything worked. So I was happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear. I've been to Budapest once years ago, and I did also enjoy the experience. So I'm glad to hear that you also had a positive one, and I hope everyone else did as well because it's a very nice city to go to. Like so,
It was definitely, yeah.
yeah. But I think we've kind of stalled maybe long enough. So going into day one, at the morning when you knew you were going to be facing Team Portugal, what were your thoughts?
Yeah.
Like, what did you guys have a team meeting? Like, I assume almost every team probably had a team meeting before the first day of the tournament.
I think we were so good friends at this point. We've played Blood Bowl together for a long time. I've seen these guys most of it in EUROBOWL. I think this time it was a bit more relaxed. We just went through the rules of communicating and just tried to psych everyone up a bit, but I think I was a bit frazzled there. I had a small gift for the Ukrainian team, so I went out and gave that to them and talked to them a bit. Just said hello to everyone, and it's always, I think always the first match is one of those. You're kind of excited and trying to settle down but I think we settled in, and we kind of started playing our own game because these guys, all of them are veterans of Blood Bowl. So
Right.
and I think we played Portugal last time. It was in Malta, and even in Malta, I was thinking like, okay, we're the ones who are probably gonna get the win out of that. But that time we lost, so I was this time even more confident. Okay, now it's the time for us to beat Portugal. So I was definitely looking for results in this matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, and as people can potentially see on the screen, and if they're paying attention, we did in fact get a result against Team Portugal in the first round.
Yeah.
But we'll not dive too deep into that for now because I'm just gonna quick fire essentially who Finland ended up facing. So first round we got Portugal. Round 2 was Germany. Round 3 was France. Round 4 was Denmark. With round 5 was Scotland, and then round 6 was against Greece. And
Right.
yeah, that's I mean, it's certainly like a fairly formidable lineup of teams. So, but like going into round 1 against Portugal, and what was your like? Did you, because again, there was a little bit of a hiccup in the in who actually played who during the tournament. So did that actually like disrupt you? Do you think at all? Like that sort of a surprise twist?
Yeah, I was at the beginning. I was a bit didn't like the fact that we got our matchups changed because, for example, I was facing the Chaos Chosen, which I feel is an okay matchup for the Amazons, and I think the biggest upset was our Bruto got vampires instead of I don't remember what the team he was facing, but vampire is one of those were the worst matchups for the Tomb Kings. So
Yeah.
I was looking at the matchups and I was like, okay, this is not this definitely didn't go our way, the change. But then I realized, okay, the guys hosting the tournament, they have quite a lot on their plate, so I tried to be I didn't want to stir trouble and start bitching about it, but the bitching part was my like gut reaction when I saw the change.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it absolutely is. I feel it's a natural reaction to when you're expecting something and then suddenly like it changes to something else, and especially when it, as you said, you feel like you got the short end of the draw, like there.
Yeah. But
But
yeah, it went. Just thought like, okay, we just play the game. We know our stuff.
yeah,
It doesn't matter.
yeah. And I mean it's. I think it's an important quality for a Blood Bowl coach to be able to adapt to changes. I mean, obviously, most of the time when you need to adapt to changes, it's because your plan is somehow going wrong on the pitch, and now you need to
Yeah,
do something about it. But sometimes these sort of even organizational, like outside of the game things, can affect can certainly affect like especially as you mentioned, like when bitching is the first reaction, like it can affect your mental and like I feel that Blood Bowl is, I mean, many, I would say, sports and games in our games where, like, you stand so much worse of a chance of being able to do well if you already go into it with, like a negative or defeated attitude in a way.
definitely, and that's a big part of the game. And that even though that was kind of my reaction, just like, but I went like, it doesn't help anything. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help the organizer.
Yeah.
We're just better just to focus on the game and start playing.
Yeah. Yeah. I very much agree. So, diving a little bit deeper into the fun fact was that Bruto actually won that. Yes, we're in fact going to take a look at the specific matchups here. For the round one against Portugal, you
Hmm.
decided to record a 1-0 win with your Amazons. Then
Right.
we have a 2-1 win for the Undead. We have a 1-0 win for Necromantic.
Mm-hmm.
2-1 loss for the Pro-El, or Elven Union.
Right.
2-1 win for the Vampires, and 1-0 win for the Tomb Kings. 1-1 draw
Mm-hmm.
for the Wood Elves, and a 2-0 win for the Orcs. Which, again, as you like mentioned before, like Vampires into Tomb Kings has to be one of the worst matchups I feel that Tomb Kings can pull, unless they manage to like really thin out the Vampire team like in quick succession. Because like when you're so vulnerable because of your low movement and need to keep a proper positioning at all times, and some asshole can just like walk up to you and go like, well, there goes your tackle zones,
Yep.
like.
Uh, I think Kings is the most vulnerable to the fact that if you lose the ball, it's so hard to get it back, and usually that will end up costing you the game.
Yeah.
So they might recover from one sacking, but not two.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think about that matchup. A thing that I remember about what I was talking to Brutos or Petros,
Mm.
and he said first thing that he said he when he went into the matchup, he was already looking defeated. And I think at some point after that he said that okay, it's a loss, and I think he didn't manage to get a score in his half. But then he just at one point just came back and said, "Okay, it's a win." Apparently, there was a 1 in 9 into a 1 in 9 with a reroll, and then just everything changed. And if I remember correctly, Petros ended up removing most of the vampires or something like that. So it was going pretty good if you think about the matchup, but.
Mm.
And he got lucky, so that
Yeah.
helps, of course.
Yeah. I mean, granted, even if he had lost, that would not have lost Team Finland the round. So in a way,
Yeah, yeah,
but like, yeah, it was a very sort of a dominating win on the first round. So for Team Finland.
definitely. And I was looking at that like, okay, I was checking out. It's Team Portugal. This
Mm.
is this is not one of those uh, newer teams. They might not be the best team, but
Mm.
still they're proper team. And this was I was really happy with this.
Mm.
And I think it was a good start for our newbie, like EUROBOWL newbie, nameless. He got
Mm.
the win out of it, and there was a lot of good things about this matchup. It's always good to start the tournament with a win. It kind of pumps everyone up and makes them feel like, okay, we can do this. It's not just luck or
Yeah.
and yeah, and of course it helped. After that, we were in the table one. So
Yeah, people could actually check you out live, which I was certainly looking at it
oh yeah,
from time
that's
to time.
that's right.
Yeah. I was following along, but yeah, as I said to one of the people that I chat with Discord and who was also watching it, is that the sort of bad thing about seeing Team Finland live is that you can't tell how the game is going like from their faces unless things are really shit. Like at that point you can probably tell, but otherwise it's just
Yeah,
blank stares into the distance pretty much.
yeah. We got some apologies from the French when they started like they were celebrating when they started getting
Yeah.
better dice. Like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean anything
Uh,
about that.
uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, no,
but it can be a chilling experience playing against us. But we're still okay, guys.
yeah, no, I don't think like from what I know of the people on Team Finland, like there's nobody who's like if somebody goes like gets an like a touchdown or like guarantees a win and goes like yes, like nobody's gonna take that personally. Like like
Yeah,
yeah, maybe there's gonna be some bitching if the dice were completely horrible, but like but it's never in a sort of like, this is your fault, like, I didn't have fun type of bitching. It's more of the goddamn these dice are rigged kind of bitching.
Yeah, unless it's beer, you're playing it beer.
Yeah, at which point, yeah, like all bets are off. But like, to be
Yeah.
fair, Bear is also one of those who I feel is not the epitome of the stoic Finnish. So it's a little, you know, he's gonna be the curveball if you're expecting the standard Finland experience.
Right.
But moving on, as you said, to getting to the top table in round 2, and we're facing off against Team Germany, which is
Yeah.
I'm maybe, like, you know, if you don't put Team Germany along the, you know, the teams like Spain, England, France, like the top dogs, then Team Germany still, like, it's just one step behind them, I feel, when it comes to like team quality. So for the Finnish,
It's one of those. It's one of those like Blood Bowl royalty. Like you have to take them seriously every time.
Yeah, absolutely. For our Finnish lads, we have a 0-1 loss for orcs. We have a 1-1 draw for the Tomb Kings. We have a 0-0 draw for the Undead. Then we have a 2-1 win for hold on. Is this? Yes, that is a 2-1 win for Necro. I don't know what happened for a moment. Like the website went just blurry on me. But
Okay.
yeah, 2-1 win for the Necromantic. Then a 2-2 draw for the Vampires, and then that would be another 1-0 win for the Amazons, and then a 1-1 draw for the Wood Elves, and then a 4-2 win for you know, Elven Union. It's Elven Union versus Wood Elf. A shootout, I feel, is not the weirdest thing.
Right.
But
I think that was like, out of these matches, there were few interesting picks. I think. Let's see that. I think like the elf matchup with Alexi and Chirgant. We talked about it a big bit because I think Alo said that in the Team Germany's training, it usually goes that the Wood Elves are always the strongest ones. But I think the thing that I was saying about Alo's playstyle, that people just don't know what's coming when they're facing him, and this is one of those things, like the thing that he played as hard and quick as he could, and you can see it from the touchdowns that's. He did. The Wood Elves didn't break his team, and that in that case, I think as Wood Elves, if you don't get lucky, you don't get their lucky removals or ball sacks. It's gonna be fast and furious, and I think this time, Alo's play style worked, and it's difficult to play with the elves if you don't have the strength as Wood Elves. You have more strength, 2 players. The tree basically does nothing.
Yeah.
And you're constantly based with 2 diving tackles. So
yeah.
high scoring game, and I think Alu ended. Chergan got the second touchdown on turn 16, and Alu ended with a 1 turn.
Yeah. Just to sort of like, no, that's not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that, like, especially with the rule set that was in play, like, I do feel that, like, Pro Elves into Wood Elves is a Pro Elf favorite matchup, because a lot of people did go for, like, even if you don't go for the dodge diving tackle combo, which he did, but, like, even if you don't go for that, like, if you go for, you know, wrestle strip ball or like wrestle frenzy catcher on a Pro Elf team, like, you still get, you still, I think, are, I would say, favored in that matchup, as you said, if your team doesn't break. But then, you know, it's Wood Elves; they're as likely to break as you are. So it's
yeah. And actually, if you outrun the tree, the Pro Elves have more strength in the team and more armor. So it's almost favored, like more favored for the Pro Elves or Elven Union to do more damage.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is as you said, like, it's always nice to start with a win in the first round, but like a second round win against such a strong opponent as Team Germany must have been like giving you guys pretty good like feelings for round three.
Definitely, we were slapping each other, like punching each other's shoulders, and we're feeling really good. We kept the first table. Um, I started the tournament with 2 wins. I was on top of the world, and in that sense, our team was doing good. I was doing good, and I was just like happy for everyone. It felt really good at this point.
Yeah.
But
And
of course, when you keep winning at this level,
yeah.
there's always trouble around the corner. Like you'll just have like, of course, the plan is always go to table one
Yeah.
and keep knocking them down when
Yeah.
they come, but it doesn't always work that way, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't, and especially when it's Team France coming around the corner, that is a surefire sign of a tough road
Yeah.
ahead. Which
Uh,
hmm?
Yeah, I was just gonna comment on the France matchup, but
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I'm like, do you feel that you said that you were on top of the world, like punching each other in the shoulders? Like, do you think that when the realization kicked in of like it's gonna be France, isn't it? Like when that came in, do you think it like do you think you managed to hold on to that that good feeling going into the matchup?
I think in the start, yes, and I think it's the team format is great in that sense because everyone wants to do good, so they don't let each other down.
Mm,
So especially when things are going good, it's kind of one of those things that it feeds the flames that of course we're gonna win. Of course we've gotten this far and
mm,
we've beaten this and that. Of course France is just one stepstone on the way to 6-0.
yeah.
But and I think this is like one of those. I wasn't happy with my play in this matchup. I felt like it the when we started playing of course we always when anyone gets a small break, for example a drive ends,
Mm-hmm.
they get up and start talking to each other, how's it going. We have this system of communicating, is the game a draw or a win or a loss.
Mm-hmm.
So we do the quick math, and okay, we're saying okay, it's minus 1, -2, -3, or
Yeah.
plus something.
Yeah.
And I think this is the only match of the whole tournament where it was a bit depressing that we started hearing like, okay, it's -1 and then it's -2, and I was um I had a pretty rocky match with I got dwarves as
Yeah.
Amazons, and they had Death Roller. And I went for a very aggressive play because he dropped the ball on turn one.
Mm.
So I went for the ball,
Mm.
didn't get it, and on, even we even got a bribe from the first kickoff. So I was like,
Oh.
okay, I'm screwed. He's gonna start fouling from turn one. That's what I was expecting. But
Yeah.
he played very passively, which almost cost him in the end. And he ended up scoring through my elf screen. So I got him. He managed to get a double one on the first. He fouled with the death roller once, even
Mm.
with a bribe.
Mm.
He got double ones on the armor and argue the call one. His
Ooh.
then and I because I had the bribe as well, so I fouled 1 or 2 dwarves out.
Mm.
So I was in the end I was actually ahead of him in
Mm.
players. And yeah, I got him. I got an elf screen in front of him, and he still managed to score. He jumped over an Amazon line woman,
Mm.
dodge with 4+, 4+ jump, 4+ dodge, 3+ dodge to go for it, and stuff like that. I was at that point when I saw it happen. I was okay. If the dice gives that to him, I'm kind of happy for him. It's going to be a great feeling for him. But at the same time, it was feeling a bit crummy. But
Yeah.
at that point, I started asking what's the situation, and everyone was already losing. So
Mm.
at that point, I'm not proud of it, but I didn't play the best this match. I think if I would have played better, it would have been a draw.
Mm.
It was in the cards heavily for me to get a draw, but I didn't play my best in the second half.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like one of the, like, even if he had, like, let's say that even if he had like two rerolls available for the play that you were describing for him to score,
Yep.
like that's still not what I like. That statistically it shouldn't happen, and it's yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and but then again, it's Blood Bowl, and you get
Yeah,
a good
yeah, yeah,
story out of it. So
yeah, yeah. No, it's the most agile dwarf who ever lived.
yeah, and like at that point, I think France had like two team losses or something, like only like the individual losses, or
mm,
even was it so that they didn't have any at that point? Let's see. Yeah, they had zero like individual losses
yeah.
at that point. So our vampire player Yopo handed them their first team like individual loss. So
Mm,
even though that there wasn't much that like good to bring home, at least Yopo won against
mm.
French, and that was really good.
No. Yeah, and I mean, like, just looking at the scores, as we'll just go through them real fast. So a 2-0 loss for Evil Smoothie with the Necro.
Hmm.
Then a 1-0 loss for you on the Amazons. We
Hmm.
have a 1-1 draw for the Tomb Kings, like, which is again
Hmm.
like Tomb Kings against Dark Elves, like, especially at such a high
Tough.
level, like, tough matchup. So like a
Yep.
1-1 draw is a really good result there. Um,
Yep.
2-0 loss for the Undead. Then
Yep.
the one win for Team Finland, which is 1-0 Vampires into High Elves, and
Yep.
then another like that would then we got 2-2 draw for the Pro Elves, and a 2-2 and a 1-1 draw for the Wood Elves, and then I unfortunately did also skip that a 2-1 loss for the Orcs. But
Yep.
like just looking at the scoreboards, right? Like it kind of like it's not like it doesn't look like we were being dominated on, like, just looking at, and like it's not, I don't think there's any match here like this match, right?
Hmm.
This match like has the most casualties, I think, out of all of the Elven Union into the Skaven, like, and
Hmm.
that, like, in favor of the Elven Union with like 3 casualties and the Skaven only getting the 2. But again, KOs aren't being like recorded, so don't
Right.
don't know what the situation there is, but still, like, it's like these score lines do not, to me, tell that like France is out of reach for us, like, in that.
Yeah, definitely. I think, for example, if I would have played better, my game would have been drawn with better dice. It would have been a win for me.
Mm,
And I think, I think the thing that I've said, like the matchup against France is they're a bit more solid or more like consistent than us. But I
mm,
think on an individual matchup, I think we can win them. But of course, because they are gonna be solid, they're not gonna give anything easy. So I think on a good day with a little bit of dice, I think we can take them. And I think this tournament on a whole shows that our like the level of game that we play, the level of our Blood Bowl is really good at this point. So we're not. I think we're up there with I wouldn't put us on the level of France, or
mm,
maybe not. Maybe, well, USA dropped this year, but
mm,
I thought more highly of them
mm,
after last year. But I think we're not the top three yet. But I think we're pretty high up there.
mm. No, but yeah, that is so that concludes the first day with 2 round wins and a round loss to end it on, which, like, I said it at the time as well, like, watching it was like, I really wish that France would have been fourth round like on day 2 rather than
Yeah.
being the third round in day 1.
Yeah, yeah. But then again, it comes at some point. It
Yeah,
doesn't. Yeah, and one year we're gonna beat him. So
yeah.
just you wait.
No, it is very like it is very much the case that like, well, you will have to beat them at some point if you want to
Yeah,
win EuroBowl. So
exactly.
yeah, yeah, it's but yeah.
I,
Mm,
yeah, and I think that round 4 is the one that I think round 3 was a tough matchup. It was fair. They played really good. I have to give it to them.
mm,
And this time that they got the win. But I think round 4 is the one that I think that was the toughest loss for us. I think it was very close.
mm. But yeah, before we dive into round 4 against Team Denmark, like, how would you say, like, how was the team feeling after day 1? Like, what were the thoughts? What was the general feeling of things?
I think again we were feeling a bit down after the last match. Most of us lost our games, and it was a tough matchup. But I think because we know each other that well, and we have played Blood Bowl quite a long time at this point.
Mm,
We're at the level so everyone could bitch about their own games, and we were ready to. We were joking around, like, okay, now it's time to go and drink, and that was it. But at the same time, I think everyone has in their back of their mind, like, okay, it's a marathon. We have a lot of games coming still, and we have still the shot for the podium, and we're gonna whatever team is gonna come next, we're gonna beat them, and just pour that irritation and frustration into the next round.
mm, mm,
So I think even though probably if you would have looked at us, we were looked defeated at that point. But I think because they're veterans, they know their game. It doesn't matter like if they just went out for the evening and then there's the next day.
mm. Yeah, though I would also have to emphasize that, like, yes, I could probably tell that Team Finland was defeated, but I like, and like somebody not from Finland might just think that I don't, maybe they're constipated or something like that. In more of a, as I said, like when I was watching the Finland France match like live fairly closely, and like it like
Yeah,
just the contrast, right, of how expressive the French were versus
yeah,
the like it was a very like just like it was a funny contrast, certainly.
it is. Yeah, like when my opponent got this touchdown with this dwarves, he did the jumping and dodging and stuff like that.
Mm,
The guy jumped up and the whole team cheered and stuff like that. And I
yeah,
was like, okay, I couldn't do anything else but to smile in that. Like I
yeah.
was like smiling. Okay, good. That's what you tried and you got it. And he came back to the table and started saying like, oh, I'm sorry. And his English wasn't that great,
Yeah.
but he's a really nice guy anyway. But yeah. But I was
No,
I was just, yeah.
yeah, no, now I just have to wonder whether your smile looked more like, oh, I'm gonna get you for that one, you bastard, rather than just, but yeah.
I think people who have played against me, they usually kind of are a bit weirded out. Like I look calm or a bit angry when I play, even though I'm just focusing. Yeah, I just have a resting bitch face.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no,
yeah,
I'm sure that is an accusation that many a Finnish Blood Bowl player, if they've played into, like, I've had that told to me, when I played in like a couple of tournaments in England. Like, people
yeah,
just assumed when I was like just thinking my next move that, like, I maybe I naturally frowned or something like that. So it's not, yeah,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. We're just relaxed and like easy go guys. We don't
yeah.
show the emotion on our faces that much.
Yeah. We have Galencio in the chat saying, "Hello there. Heard you beat my country's butt on round 1. Hope we can play in the next EuroBowl in Poland. Definitely going." I'm glad to hear it. And yeah, we certainly beat Portugal. And I mean, It's nice that you're looking forward to being beaten again in Poland if you
Yep.
manage to like face off against Team Finland. So I'm glad that you're taking it positively.
Yeah, but I'm really envious of Portugal. They apparently have a tournament, EUROBOWL, that they play in a palace, a freaking palace.
Wow. Ooh,
Yeah,
that
like
like.
we play outside with Fruos in
I
in the
think,
snow, and they
yeah,
play in palace.
yeah. I mean, I'm just I'm gonna put the silver lining in there. We probably have a better sauna than they have at the palace. So like, it's
Definitely.
a yeah, like can go either way. But
Yeah.
yeah, so feeling a little bit little bit wind knocked out of your sails going into round 4 of day 2.
Yeah. But when we saw Team Denmark, we beat them last year. I was like, okay, we got this. This
Mm,
is like we're back to our comfort level. I know they're definitely they've won EuroBowl once, and I know that it's gonna be a tough matchup.
mm,
These guys have been around forever, like the Niebling and Triple
mm.
Skull. They're how would I say it nicely, granddads of the scene. So and so I know it was gonna be a tough matchup, but I was thinking, look, okay, anyhow we got this. So
Mm.
and that was at least my mentality when I went into this matchup.
Yeah. But very very unfortunate. And for the 4th round,
Mhm.
we've got 1-1 draw for the vampires against Elven Union. We
Right?
have another 1-1 draw. Tomb Kings into Amazons, which is again like not a great matchup for Tomb Kings. Like I'll be frank, like I think
Yep.
Amazons is like they will really suffer with like how much pressure Amazons can put on them just because everybody's have dodge. Lol.
Yep. Yeah, especially if the Tomb Kings don't get any removals, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a tough slog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Granted, in this matchup, like at least in this tournament, they did have a mighty blow tackle on an anointed blitzer, right? So it's
Yep.
like that certainly helps in the matchup. I feel,
Hmm.
but yeah, and then we have the 0-0 draw for you personally
Hmm.
on against Necromantic Horror. We've
Yep.
got hold on. We got the 1 win, which is a 1-0 win for Necro into Humans. Which
Hmm.
I'll be frank, I do think this is a Necro favored matchup.
Yeah, it is, especially when the rule set favors
Mm,
Necro on a whole. It is a solid team, just a bit
yeah,
better team than the humans at this with this rule set.
yep. And then starts. Well, we still got one draw to go. We got a 1-1 draw for the Undead into Chaos Dwarves, which is
Yep.
not a matchup that I'm very familiar with. Not very familiar with any Chaos Dwarf matchup really, but
Yep.
and then
It it was a tough matchup anyway. Like, but yeah, if you check the rosters out, I wasn't expecting any case dwarfs, but they get a bucket load of skills. So I kind of understand. I still don't like it that
hmm,
much, but it is playable.
yeah, certainly is. And I mean, it's there's certainly an art like just having block on four players like straight off the bat like is no bad thing to have in on a team, right? And
Yeah.
then the bull centaurs are an excellent like sprint sure feat, and then you can put like pretty much any skill that you'd ever want on them aside from block, which is a drawback, sure, but like
Yeah.
there's still plenty of good skills that they can take. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, no, Chaos Dwarves were one of those, well, maybe one of those outlier races that I personally didn't expect to see as much as there were. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, unfortunately, sorry for the had to 2FA log in. My tackle mighty blow rolled 5 double pushes in a row in that match and skipped the second half, so I was really happy with it. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that hurts to even read. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Yeah,
But still, you
I
got the
mean,
draw out of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
like a draw is what you expect from a Tomb Kings. Like draw is generally what you expect from a Tomb Kings game anyway. So getting a draw into a tough matchup when your mighty blow blitzer is not doing the work is very good. Yeah, but unfortunately, we do have to move on and also mention that we got a 0-1 loss for the Pro Elves
mhm.
against Tomb Kings, which again one would think that this I would say is a Pro Elf favorite matchup,
Yeah,
probably.
especially when the casualties are even.
Yeah,
So in that sense, I don't remember the specifics of this matchup, what happened there, but I'm guessing if Alo played it the way I think he did it, there was probably some knockouts that aren't shown here
yeah,
because I'm guessing there was pressure on the ball, but it just didn't go far enough.
yeah, yeah. No, and it's like I mean it is essentially again. This is one of those where the Tomb Kings getting that tackle mighty blow blitzer could well have made the difference. Because again, like the most important pieces for Alu was definitely the blitzers on his roster, and
Yeah, definitely.
if one or even potentially both of those go out because of the tackle mighty blow blitzer, even if they're just KO'd, like that's a huge loss for him, and you know. Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we got Douglebro in the chat saying that Team Finland was fun to play against in the open. Great players. I'm glad to hear that. We're definitely going to pass that along to them.
Yeah,
You know, maybe there's even some in the chat. Hopefully, but yeah, we'll definitely pass on that message. But yeah,
Axu was in the open
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Axu,
yeah, yeah.
Axu United. Yeah.
We had 5 open. Yeah, yeah. You do have to be maybe a little bit more specific because there were a lot of Finns going to Hungary this time. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, but yeah, moving on from this one, Triple Skull takes a 2-0 win with Wood Elves into Wood Elves on Wood Elves action, and I mean the touchdowns happened before the casualties started piling up for him. So
Yeah, yeah, it's especially you're playing mirror with glass cannon teams.
yeah,
If someone gets removals, it's gonna be rough. And I think these are two of the probably most experienced Wood Elf coaches in the world. Like, I mean, like, there's not. If there is someone who's played more Wood Elves, I really don't want to even know about them. But both of these guys have played a lot and played Wood Elves for so long, and I think this time Skull got the better of him.
mm.
It can happen, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Bruto did also say in the chat that it could just be that they marked the casualties at the end of the game rather than when they were happening, which is also
Yeah,
a fair
probably.
point, yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's it yeah. I mean, there's no denying that Triple Skull is an excellent coach, on skill level alone. So, and I mean, Wood Elf
Yeah,
against Wood Elf is a like. I feel that almost any elf matchup it can be fairly explosive when it comes to both like teams and the scoreline. So,
yeah,
and then last but not least, 1-0 Vampires Denmark Vampires win against our Orcs, and I don't know. Like, is like our orcs like that susceptible to vampire shenanigans? Because like they're not the fastest of teams. Orcs, that is, like surely not the
hmm
fastest of teams. But on the flip side, I also feel like they generally do just have enough redundancy. Like they've got 4 strength 4 players, they've got the 4 blitzers, and like they still got plenty of other players to run around as well. And like they got high armor, so there's very little chance of the orcs losing the attritional battle to vampires.
yeah. I think it's a 50-50 matchup. Depending on if the vampires don't run out of rerolls, don't run out of players,
Mm.
they have a chance. But I think apparently Nameless played 2 vampires this one, and maybe it was next round, and I think both were it went pretty okay. But if the vampires get the one break that they need, and you get the dice, it can be just over with that one turn. And I
Mm.
think apparently something along those lines happened this game. And in the end, I don't know the specifics,
Mm.
but Tero or Nameless said to me like it was down to Snake Eye that
Mm.
he didn't get a draw out of it.
Mm.
So apparently it's very even matchup. So
Yeah.
it could have been a draw for us if it, like Tero apparently said that it was down to us double ones. Why he didn't get the draw.
Mm. Fair
So
enough.
yeah. And as I said, this matchup like on a whole felt a bit off because in the end, I drew my game because I got the tripwire. I had no rerolls, but I didn't get the rush for the touchdown
Mm.
for the win. So I lost a win. There are if he said like it would could have been a draw with that 1-2 plus and so on. So it was there was so much things that could have been different. So I think this was very even.
Mm.
I got a bit lucky against Tank. They're a very good coach.
Mm.
He got started knocking something off the pitch in the beginning, but I lucked out and got a 1D blitz on Flesh Golem and removed him, and he didn't regenerate,
Mm.
which felt good.
Mm.
Have to say that, and managed to just stop his attack. And but still, yeah, it was he started getting the removals, and it was very tight. I think he misplayed a bit, and didn't have the he didn't have a good way of doing that a touchdown against me. So I just, but yeah, it doesn't feel good when you lose to a 2 plus, but it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes all it comes down to is that one rush that you need to do, and oh boy,
But
like sometimes it feels like as you said, like it certainly feels like that the end zone is like the worst place to be doing rushes, you know.
yeah, and I think I'm one of those coaches who really I'm not superstitious, and I don't fear the dice. I usually actually think the dice. I always expect good of them. I
Mm.
always like when I put the dice cup down, I'm like it's not going to be a 1,
Yeah. Yeah.
but this time it was a 1.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you said that like this is I feel that France into Denmark, both of which are top tier teams in EuroBowl, and loss into a loss. That
Yeah, yeah.
that that could certainly shake a team, if anything.
I think like this for the hopes of getting the podium. This was kind of it. Like we lost the second game. At that point, it was like okay, it's gonna be top 10, the most best
Mm.
result that we're gonna get.
Mm.
So that was, I think, for me, that was like I did that math in my head. Like I wasn't feeling super good, but at the same time, this match kind of felt like we got robbed here.
Mm.
So in that sense, it didn't like it wasn't super depressing,
Mm.
and it was and if we let's take the big picture of the stuff the first match against Portugal, they're not like bad, but they're not like tier one teams.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
against then we had three really good countries
Mm.
back to back. So one win against Germany, then draw a loss against France. That I was okay with that,
Mm.
especially the next day.
Mm.
But this one I was like, okay, this doesn't feel good, and I kind of got like, okay, whoever is gonna get us next, we're gonna be, beat them big time.
Mm.
So I think that's one of those things where the experience of our players starts to show. It doesn't shake us if we lose one time.
Mm.
It's just rally and do it. There's two more rounds left, so
Mm.
let's focus on them.
Yeah. And it definitely is one of those where I feel like the most unfortunate thing is that this was round 4 that this loss came in. Like, sure, like had it been round 5, it would have also you probably would have felt robbed and all of that. But like the fact that it comes like at the start of the day is the worst part about this loss. And in terms of morale, at least for me, it's like when you start with that. Obviously, you
Yeah.
know, the people who are either, you know, deluded or otherwise known as optimists, they can go, well, there's nothing but up from here, right? Like from a loss
Yeah.
like this. But it's still, yeah, I can very much see how this would get you know, especially for, you know, as you said, Nameless being a rookie to EuroBowl, like that could certainly, like if your team is consisting mostly or even potentially all of like new people to EuroBowl, like this could be a crushing blow to morale.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's the game after games like this. If you're now playing with experienced coaches, it's one of those things where it's better to talk things through and like just. I think one of the role of the captain is just don't get phased by it.
Mm,
You're just like your job is there to say it to everyone. Okay, that was crap. Next, and then
yeah.
let's start from that. But especially when it doesn't feel in a tournament, when it doesn't feel good when you're going down the tables, and this was like, okay, now we have to win. Now
Mm-hmm.
now it was like really like there was no options anymore.
Yeah. But moving on to round 5, Team Scotland. One of the two who were competing for the rights for the tournament after Poland.
Yep.
And this one 0-1 loss for Vampires. Wow, Scotland indeed. But 0-1 loss for our Vampires. Then a 1-1 draw for the Necro.
Hmm.
Then we got 1-1 draw for the Tomb Kings. We
Hmm.
have a 2-0 win for you with the
Hmm.
Amazons into Vampires, which is, I mean, if there's a team to beat Vampires with, Amazon's probably up there, just because, you know.
Yeah. It's just not bad. We have a strength 4 ball carrier, and it's it's pretty nice to play this. It can, of course, like vampires can any time they can beat anyone,
Mm-hmm.
but I was fine with this.
No. And then, uh, then we got 2-0 win in with the undead into humans, which again, like undead being like the humans are just outclassed here. I feel a little bit.
Yeah, I think humans have to get something. I think the undead are always a solid team, and if they get what they want, humans might be it might be a hard match to at least win.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
And then 1-1 draw, 1-1 draw for the Wood Elves,
Hmm.
and then a 2-2 draw for Elven Union into Skaven. Again, not
Hmm.
surprising that many touchdowns into this sort of a matchup. And
Yeah.
then, last but not least, 1-0 win for Orcs into Amazons.
Yeah. I think I felt like after this, like I was happy for it that he got the win. Like
Mm,
he righted the ship, so to say, after the like after a few losses, and
mm,
it felt really good. Yeah, I have to say about my vampire opponent, he wasn't the luckiest guy. He got to sack my ball once, and he didn't have any recovery for the ball.
mm,
And after that, I kind of ran away with it. I got, I think in the end he had 4 players on the pitch. Oh,
mm.
no vampires. Like so, it was.
Yeah.
I think on my attack, I had to attack first, and I think I got 2 vampires out, one pretty early,
Mm-hmm.
and then just one in the end. And on the second half, I just steamrolled him. He got too many ones.
Yeah.
Didn't help.
Yeah. No, I very, very much the if you can't roll above a 1 when you're playing vampires, it's gonna. I mean, granted, that's any team, right? But like for
Yeah.
vampires specifically, it's the. I kind of look at vampires in a similar way than I look at elves. Is that like as long if I can make them roll dice, they're gonna have to at some point start rolling ones. Like surely, right?
Yeah.
And if they do, especially in a critical situation, yeah, it's
Yeah. And I think it's one of those teams. It's hard to say what you can do better because I think there was something he was doing that he shouldn't have because I got too many blitzes on his vampires, and
mm,
eventually they're pretty fragile.
mm,
And he wasn't lucky. He didn't get his regenerates on his
mm,
vampires, which is always shit. It doesn't. It feels extra bad.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm not supposed to get to hit his vampires and move safely. But I haven't played them enough, so I could really say
mm,
what he could have done better.
mm.
But yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
yeah, it was one of those good matchup. I was asking around, and everyone's like, okay, it's a draw or
Mm,
it's a win,
mm,
and I think I was sitting next to Red Ogre, who was doing his thing and beating the opponent. So it felt like we were doing the thing that we were supposed to,
mm.
and in the end we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, a fairly comfortable win over Team Scotland with 3 wins and just 1 loss.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I again, uh, it's I mean, again, I feel a little bad for Team Scotland in the sense that with them they had an extra thing on the line, right? So they were all more and more motivated to do well in the tournament with the whole hosting rights. So in a way,
Yeah.
I feel a little bad because I was still cheering for Team Finland because of course I am. So
Yeah.
it like unfortunate that they had to hit us on the way there, but uh,
Yeah, and I think in a way that I've talked with Jock, their
mm,
captain, a bit, and I think they're on the similar path than us. Then they started with a drinking team
mm, mm,
like us, and they've transformed their scene mostly. That they have really good intentions. They really try to play the game the way that it's supposed to, and they're building people up, and which is it sounds really good.
yeah,
Their population is the similar size to Finland, and I think they're doing really good things.
yeah,
Of course, it helps that they have the whole UK scene
yeah,
right next door to them,
yeah.
but still, they're doing good stuff there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I do think that the fact that the British Isles has probably has one of the most competitive sort of circuits if you take the whole of the Isles, right? Like there's so many
Mm.
good coaches, so many veteran coaches out there that you're going to be facing them at some point, and you're getting that experience. Like for like, so it's it it's definitely a little different than. I mean, sure, the Swedes have plenty of good coaches, and the Danes have plenty of good coaches, and we have plenty of good coaches. Uh, but it's still like I do feel that there's a little bit like when we're talking, distances that need to be traveled, like how much of an effort and like how big the tournaments are. There's definitely something to be said to be living in the British Isles or France, I guess, in that
Yeah,
sense.
I think it's one of those things that you can stumble to any random gaming club and you just have tournaments randomly everywhere.
Yeah.
We have tournaments. We have 8 to 12 tournaments the whole year.
Mm.
They probably have hundreds. So
Yeah.
anyone who's interested in Blood Bowl can get their fill,
Yeah.
but we really have to be interested in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, we got I think about 80 says now Dougalaborough when it comes to tournaments in the British Isles, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, fair enough, fair enough. But I mean, like I think the biggest tournament in England would, I think they were. I'm not sure. Were they closing in on the 300 coach mark, or did they actually manage to pass over it?
In Scotland, no
I
clue.
don't think in Scotland, but in England there was yeah, like
The home
there's
nations
yeah,
thing.
like it is just one of those where the scale is also just bigger for the big
Yeah,
tournaments. The
definitely.
scale is just bigger.
Yeah, and the one thing that you actually don't realize the first time around when you go to these huge tournaments, it helps the whole community to find the games that are more suited for them.
Mm,
For example, you don't have to go further than to Sweden. There's the one big tournament in Sala in the
mm,
start of the year. They have 150 or so coaches,
mm,
but there you can play. You can maybe play one or two games against really good coaches, and
mm,
if you're just there to have fun and meet new people,
mm,
you take those losses, and around again usually they are nice guys as well,
mm,
and then you go play with people who are on the same level as you.
mm, mm.
And if you compare that to the Finnish scene, you might, even though you might not do so well, but you might still, even on the third or fourth round, you might get someone from the EuroBowl team,
Yeah,
because the top 10 or 20 are EuroBowl players or veterans who are knocking heads, and they're dropping each other down.
yeah.
And even like it might feel to someone who's new at the game, they finally got the win, and then you see a EuroBowl veteran on like smiling, and then like, it's kind of like when you're in that situation, you're kind of like saying, "Okay, sorry, I have to, I I have to play this. Like I can't give you too much leeway here." But
Yeah, yeah. Understandably,
yeah,
yeah. But I mean, if you're one of those people who can take that experience and turn it into a positive one, and or take it as a learning experience, right? Because you're gonna learn
yeah,
quite a
yeah,
bit, yeah. Like it's definitely, but yeah, it's it can, like, yeah, easy first game. Like somebody, like, yeah. I mean, imagine, right? You're in like the UK. You're in a tournament, and like you're one of the, like, this is your first ever tournament, and you've managed to get someone who is also probably their first or second tournament, and you get a
yeah,
good win out of that, and then like across the table, there's like K-Fosh or
yeah,
Andy Davo, or like, and it's like, I'm not sure I'm ready
yeah.
for this. Like,
Yeah, and you probably even don't understand
yeah,
the magnitude of the situation that you're in. You're like, okay, this apparently this guy has played quite a bit,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't understand what it means.
Yeah. No, it's like it's just one
And
of
then,
the, like, especially if you're not like very familiar with like NAF things or whatever, right? So like somebody might go like, oh, you got Andy Davo. He's like ranked X on the NAF table, and you go like, oh,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. Like, and you just like move on with your life, and you don't really think
yeah, yeah,
about it, and then you check
yeah.
like,
Who's this
like
quite tall? Who's this quite tall nerd?
yeah, and like how many people are actually in the NAF, and then you just check the rankings, and you go like, well, shit, he's really good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, I Douglas played Andy before I even knew him was third event. Yeah, for me,
yeah,
like, I have played Andy on the tabletop, and I've played him in a couple of online leagues as well, but the first time I ever faced him was in a tabletop tournament, and I think it was like my second tabletop tournament ever, and in
yeah.
England, like, and it was like, I mean, I knew him by reputation at that point, because he was like in an online league, and the tabletop tournament was like, for the UK BBL online league, like held a
Hmm.
tabletop tournament, so I knew him by reputation, right? So I knew I was up against a very good coach at that point. But it's still one of those things where I can just go like, well, I mean, shit. It is the Andy Davo who's like right there, and like I'm playing a human team into his Dark Elves, and this was like
Yeah,
prior to like Blood Bowl 2020, so like very different game than now, but.
yeah, yeah. But I think the mindset, like, if you play in these big games, you just like have to forget the names and just like, okay, we're gonna beat this tall nerd. You go back to
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
Welsh hold.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also one of those where like, you can always just go like, well, it is a dice game, so even like
Yeah,
sometimes you get a little lucky, and sometimes you get
Yeah.
even more lucky than that. So it's like, even if you rank number one comes across you on the table, that doesn't mean you're done for. Absolutely not. And you just have to,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. But yeah, no. But before we, devolve more into that tangent, let's get into round 6, the last round of the tournament. Team Finland against Team Greece.
Yeah, it wasn't a happy time for me.
that I can
Not
see.
a
It,
no.
it,
Well, when you get to the, you'll see why I wasn't so happy.
G Coleman in the chat. So I remember you doing a lot of press at the tournament. Yeah, and I'm still, by the way, I'm still holding on to that tradition. By the way, so like in the last tournament that I played, like here in Finland, like my first tabletop tournament, Blood Bowl 2020, I did 30 push-ups at the tournament because every loss is 10.
What's the rule?
Yeah,
Right.
like every loss is 10 push-ups and every draw is 5 push-ups, and
Okay.
I also put, like, okay, if I lose something like 3-0 or 4-0, then I'm also like putting extra push-ups on myself. So yeah, no,
I
I
would be
did.
freaking jacked at this point with that rules.
No, I mean, that's why I don't play in too many Blood Bowl tournaments. Like I do, but no,
Yeah.
it was just one of those where, like, being in England and doing those tournaments like, I needed to set something that would, like, vent the, because when I was younger back then, I guess, as we all were, but like, it's one of those where, like, I'm a very competitive spirited person when it comes to,
Yep.
like, any game that I play, and sometimes that just goes a little too much in, like, I get into my own head, essentially, when it comes to, like, after a loss, especially when, like, especially when it's a frustrating loss of where it felt like nothing went my way, and like everything went my opponent's way. So that was just one of my, like, that was my sort of on the spot sort of thing where I went, okay, I need to vent this frustration out. And, well, I mean, I didn't have a punching bag, so I figured, well, what's
Mm-hmm.
the next best thing? We'll just start doing push-ups. Why not? Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's simple, it's easy, it doesn't take that much time, and I'm really glad that I didn't lose like 5 games in a row, because at the end of like the Blood Bowl day, doing like 50 push-ups after a game is like, yeah, maybe that's a little too much of that, but but yeah, I can, like, just scrolling down and looking at what happened here. My God, it was that looks, and it's like evenly spread here as well. That does not look.
We did them, like, we added them in the end, but
Okay.
still it was. I kind of would like to have that match back. I
No.
He dropped the ball on the first round in the back of the field, and I was like, okay, he has 2 tackles, 2 mighty
Mm-mm.
blows built against me. I was like, okay, we're gonna play this game fast and furious. I'm gonna go do what Allo does. I'm gonna blitz and go behind his team,
Mm.
and I think he just consistently with the blitz. I think he broke armor most of his blocks. It was POW most of the time. Armor breaks every time, and I was like holding that stun tokens. Like, I have these as well. Please, may I use them? And it was like I think I got to next to the ball. I got some chances. I even got a chance to draw the game with a 3+, 4+ thing, but
Mm.
it just, like, multiple times it happened that I start because he based a lot of it with a lot of
Mm-mm.
strength. I was like, okay, I'll blitz someone through, and I'll throw 3+ here and
Mm.
there,
Mm-mm.
and just 3+ failed on first go. And I was like, okay, another band. Ended up just giving up on my defense and just tried. I struggled. I tried it the best I think, but I think that I chose the wrong strategy. If I would have just played conservative, it probably
Mm.
would have been a different game.
Mm-mm.
But I was just convinced, like, I saw my chance, and it probably was the wrong thing to do.
Mm.
Still, yeah.
Well, I'm
But
sure.
as
I'm.
as
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but on the whole, like as you can see, our team did really well. I was so happy that I didn't mess this up for the whole team. Like I was so happy everyone just were reporting wins all around. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it was so first off, we got Evil Smoothies Necro into Chaos Dwarfs with a 1-0 win. Then you're
apparently about that,
mm,
after that game, Odd or Evil Smoothie said it was the worst game that he played the worst Blood Bowl probably ever, or at least in a few years.
mm.
But he just got lucky.
Okay.
Apparently, there was at least once, like 1 in 9 into double skulls, uh,
Mm,
makes here and there. So there we were lucky in that matchup, definitely.
okay. Um then your 2-0 loss, and that's also followed by a 2-0 loss for Tomb King. Why does it feel like like that he just didn't get any good matchups? Like, did we ever go to a matchup and go like, okay, this seems like the Tomb Kings have a handle on this? Like,
Yeah, yeah. That
just
was like he was like he got one bash matchup or something. He
he,
just had the worst tournament ever.
uh,
Like, and he's usually playing this. He's been playing Skaven and Dark Elves, and this time he decided, okay, I'm gonna go play against the bash, and then he just got 6 matches of elves.
yeah, but yeah, but thankfully for Team Finland, it is followed up by several wins. Vampires into Necro.
Yeah,
Bruto says, "Yeah, the lizards. That was a Germany matchup. I think was the one bash that he managed to get.
yeah,
No, yeah,
something like that.
that
I
was a
don't
1-1
remember
draw.
which one, but yeah,
Yeah,
he got yeah those ones. Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, 1-0 for the Vampires. We got 2-1 Undead into Undead. Oh, Scotland.
hmm
Yeah, yeah. The Skinks double
apparently.
powered me. Wow.
I think Nico, I think here it showed that he was just the more experienced player.
Hmm.
Nico can get a bit arrogant when he's doing good, but I think here he kind of started giving pointers to his opponent. So I think this
Ah.
was one of those matchups. Of course, he's probably a good player. Not to
Mm,
say that, but Nico has been around forever.
mm.
Radogur is, I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, then we got uh, a loss wood elves into dwarves, which is, when you think about it, like, your dwarves can probably put the hurt on the elves, but then the elves will just run circles around. And like, according to this, they're like only one actual casualty. Obviously, again, don't know their KOs, so could be that, but
Yeah.
he said that he did more with one mummy than his opponent with two, as he's gotten removed turn 3. Ow! I mean, that's yeah. That I've yeah. I mean,
But
positioning the mummies and not letting them get tangled up by zombies is very crucial in an undead versus undead matchup. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah, and I mean, yeah, like, positioning is definitely one of those things that like I feel veterancy makes you generally just better at that. Like, that's one of the skills I think that like experience really like helps out with. So
yeah, but it's always good to take someone who's winning or doing good, like take their advice with a pinch of salt,
yeah.
because you're feeling good and you're just your opponent might just have a like a bad day or
Yeah.
something. But yeah, as I said, I've always said like Radogray is one of our most consistent players, and
Yeah.
that's why he's been on the team so many times.
Mm-hmm. Um, and then we got 2-0 win for Orcs versus Lizardmen, which, I mean,
hmm
this is, I feel like, especially in the where, in a rule set where the lizards only get the 4 block. Like, I think this is one of those the matchups that orcs like in like, I feel that orcs generally do okay in the lizardmen anyway, but especially with the
Yeah,
like lizardmen being less consistent without the 4 block now. Yeah.
yeah. And I think on the in this rule set, and Nameless on his team, he had 2 mighty blows, he had tackles, he had frenzy. So he just had all the tools, and apparently he got some removals as well. In the end, I think I saw a scrum with Lizardman at that point didn't have any skinks left, and they were trying, and Nameless was leading 1-0 at that point. I was like, okay, looking good. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah.
And then last but not least, 2-0 Elven Union into Amazons, which is, I mean, I feel this is a fairly even matchup. Like with his like build of Pro Elf, I think he's gonna do better than most Pro Elves well into Amazons.
Yeah, I think like he's my main, like we've practiced probably hundreds of games at this point against each other, so he knows Amazons at least the way that I play Amazons inside and out. I know his game style, and I think it was one of those. He asked like, "Is it gonna be good?" Like I was saying, you know your stuff. You just do you, and it's gonna be good. And I think it showed here.
Yeah. Apparently, the lizards put 5 people, I assume, like Croxy and 2 Saurus aside, turn 1, and Nameless removed at least 1 immediately, which is brave of the Lizardman coach. Like, I get why you would, I understand why you would, but I just don't.
Still wrong.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Like,
you never want to give orcs chances.
Yeah, no, like that. Like I can see putting like 4 Saurus and a Croxigore on the line of scrimmage if you're facing off against elves, but like against orcs, against like Chaos Chosen, no, that is just not. I feel the correct move.
Yep, with all that guard and mighty blow and everything.
Yeah, like just the base strength being able to, if not like match you in strength, then like just like with the guard, like you know the guard and the strength for it, yeah, and the blocks, like it. I mean, again,
yeah.
Don't know the specifics of like what he was thinking there, but I just immediate like that just puts like the idea of it like sort of like I go immediately like no that's not the no. I mean I wouldn't do that, so yeah. But yeah, no. So with the day 2 being over, with the disappointing loss against the Danish, and then 2 back-to-back wins against Scotland and then Team Greece. How were the guys feeling? Like before the final standings like were published, how were you feeling? What was the team like?
I think after the 2 wins, we got the wins that we were supposed to. I feel like it's always difficult to say. Like for example, Greece and Scotland, they might feel the same way that we feel about like better countries, that they have a fair shot against us, as because it's Blood Bowl. Of course they do, but I think like I always think who's the more consistent country playing, and I think these the last 2 we're the more consistent countries, and I was expecting us to come like ahead, and I think in the end there were, as a team, we were feeling okay with the situation. There were of course few like things that from the players, for example, Yopo took our vampire. He was feeling really good. He did really well in this tournament. I think I called him a bit swingy when we talked last time, but this time he really swung to the right. Right, he did really good. He won 3-2-1, which is amazing in a team tournament.
Yeah,
and I was happy that Rad Ogre did as consistently as it did, and as what I said with Evil Smoothie, like we can give him any grindy slow team, and he'll bring us results. And it's like he got 4-1-1, which is again amazing. So it's one of like on a whole, I am happy with it. I think the one thing that showed here is like that roster picking the right rosters and races. It just is so very important. For example, Bruto is a very very solid coach, and like I went through all the Tomb King results from the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the best Tomb King was Sweden's with 2-3-1, or was it? I think it was 2-3-1
Mm.
result. So only 2 wins, 3 draws, 1
Yeah.
loss.
Yeah.
And the worst one was 2-2-2.
Yeah.
So it's one of those middle of the line. You don't win much, you don't lose much teams,
Mm.
which kinda is good. And Pedro, like Bruto, did 1-4-1, I think,
Mm.
in a team tournament. That's fine. But I'm guessing Bruto doesn't feel that great about it. He probably wanted to win more.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest mistake on our roster was our Wood Elf pick.
Mm.
I still stand by the thing that I said about him. Like if he's the one to bring some results with Wood Elves, but
Mm-hmm.
at this time he didn't get lucky anywhere, and the roster was just too thin,
Mm.
and he got probably the worst result of his EUROBOWL career, which
Mm.
is a really shame. But
Mm.
at the same time, we're we were kind of just dragging him along. He got difficult matchups, and like were those few times that he could have won, but unfortunately he didn't get any this time.
Mm-hmm. So in the sort of like if we're thinking about the team, what do you think like what would have been the correct pick for rather than Wood Elves? Like would it have been Skaven? Do you like because they play kind of similarly in my opinion at least, and you know Skaven were very well represented in this tournament as well.
Might be Wood Elf, might be even High Elves,
Mm.
just like your run of the mill vanilla High Elves might have
Mm.
been even better. It's hard to say because it's one of those things like we're constricted with the time that the coaches have. Like we have certain coaches, they know certain teams,
Mm.
and we try them out on certain teams. And of course, at least in Finland, we get the coaches pretty much quite a lot of freedom of
Mm.
choosing what's good for you and what do you feel like playing.
Mm.
We don't put just like at least I'm not, as a captain, I'm not saying to you like, okay, you have to do something like that. But
Mm.
I'm if they give me results with, let's say, 2 teams, I'm probably saying like, okay, which of these 2 teams is the team that you want to pick?
Mm.
So it's for example, Juho
Mm.
or Jeho, he trained with Wood Elves and Skaven, and he got mixed results with Skaven.
Mm.
And I played training matches against both of his, and he felt more comfortable with Wood Elves.
Mm.
So that was like in the end, I felt that was a good pick, but maybe High Elves was the better pick here, maybe.
Mm.
But I think I think that's the only like meta pick that I'm not happy about. I think on the whole the others were fine,
Mm.
but for example we were missing the dwarves.
Mm.
But could you all play dwarves? I don't know.
Mm.
Uh,
It's
one of those
it's a
things.
very different game to what he seems to like playing. So.
Yeah, but he's like there's our coaches have been playing for so long. They know they've played quite a lot of different kinds of
Mm.
teams, but it's different to play in a league against your friends than in EuroBowl.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
But yeah, for the next year, it's gonna be interesting. New edition, new meta, a
Yeah.
lot of changes. So it's I'm not envious of their choices that Red Ogre has to do next year. It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah. Kind of covered one of the questions or one of the things that was, but yeah. So after the tournament, you were feeling overall it was a good showing from Team Finland. Would have wanted more, but it was a good
Yep.
showing.
I think it was the minimum result that I was happy with. Let's say if I would have been happy with 10, like anything under 10.
Mm.
So we're not Blood Bowl royalty in Finland. We're not Spain. We're not England or Italy
Mm-mm.
or France. So I think when we get to play against these really good big countries and we get the results that we want,
Mm.
you have to be like fine with it in the end of the day.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and I mean, as you said, there's always next year. There's always next
Yeah,
year. But speaking of,
exactly.
as you already sort of said, like you are going to be stepping down as the team captain for Team Finland. You're going to be handing off that responsibility to another dictator. How do you feel?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like do you as a as you look back overall into your own captaincy, are you happy with what you've accomplished?
Um, on the whole, yes. Of course, it's the basic Finnish nature that you always focus on the thing that you could have done better.
Mm,
But like considering this is a hobby, even for me, it's what I do for fun, and I really get kicks out of it. I really enjoy improving my game. Enjoy when other people around me get better.
mm,
So I think I think the last it's not only my captaincy, but I think the last 5-ish years,
mm,
like maybe 5, 6, 7 years, I think as a whole we brought Finland to the global map, and I think people are thinking about us differently nowadays. We
mm,
get it's not my work. It's our whole community has done work for it, but we get more people outside of Finland coming to our tournaments. We get people know us, and it feels really good. And I think, but it's hard to say that it was something that I did, but I did my best, and I'm happy with what I accomplished.
mm. Yeah, and there is a vote of confidence there in the chat with Bruto saying the general consensus is that Aku was an amazing captain. Everybody really trusts him as a player and leader. He dragged and pushed the scene forward by a lot. Sometimes kicking and screaming, it feels, but somebody had to do it, right?
Yeah, that's what they keep telling me, but it's the Finnish way of thinking what could have been done better. But as I said, I'm really happy about what has happened since Malta, that when they voted me as the captain, and
Mm,
I think it's a group effort, definitely.
mm,
Everyone in Finland knows that, like, there's people have done work in the Nordics, in Spain, in Italy, and all over the Europe, and people have raised our level of Blood Bowl and the community up so much. So it's a great community to be a part of at the moment.
yeah, and I mean, hopefully, again, like we're very much hoping that it continues growing and it continues prospering as it does. So hopefully hopefully there's a again like it just looks all over everywhere else as well, but in Finland as well. Like it looks positive for Blood Bowl as a whole,
Yeah,
which is always a like good thing to see in like coming in the future.
and I think the most important thing after now that we got the EUROBOWL done is coming next year. We're gonna go for go and fight for the third Swedish championship. So if, if we get that, then we can hang our Swedish crowns, and then maybe next year do something else, and then go beat Swedes again.
Yeah, maybe you'll take a step towards I don't know, go to Denmark and take their crown instead. Like they're a monarchy still, so why not?
Yeah, yeah,
but
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
uh,
There's always Denmark and Norway, and maybe Iceland at some point.
yeah, I mean that would be something. I mean I no idea if what kind of Blood Bowl scene is in Iceland, if there is one even. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I um Unless there's anything else that you wish to say, we've been talking quite a bit already. But unless there's any final thoughts about like EuroBowl Hungary in particular, or overall EuroBowl things.
No, I'd just like to thank everyone listening to and to you. So that the thing that you're part of the whole big picture of making Blood Bowl as great as it is, and it definitely it is great that you've taken your time and arranged all these discussions with the captains before EuroBowl, and now even the Finnish retrospective, and it's that's one of those one part of those why it's great to be playing Blood Bowl and doing stuff around Blood Bowl, because everyone's having fun, and it's a fun community to be a part. So thanks to you as well, and I think that's it.
Yeah, fair enough, and I very much appreciate the compliment. And this year, like we did have one of these streams last year as well for Team Finland. But this year, there's gonna be others as well, as I'm gonna be tomorrow, Saturday. That is in the evening. We're going to be having Team Wales is going to be coming in with their team captain to hash out what their feelings are about the tournament after the fact, which is going to be very interesting considering what happened in the final moments of the tournament, like what like how that like how close it was, right?
They must be feeling over the moon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Say hi to them, and congratulations to their great result from us as well.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the first question I'm gonna ask, and why didn't you win more so that you could beat France like that? Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. But we are. I'm also in talks with some other captains and vice captains to see if there's gonna be more of these, because again, I enjoyed talking about Blood Bowl, so hopefully there's gonna be more interest on people listening in and having fun with this discussion as well. But once again,
Yeah.
thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And I think as like the final conclusion is that I don't feel that anyone at EuroBowl had a bad time of it. Like EuroBowl just is one of those. Well, even with the shuffle of the first round, which caused maybe some consternation. I'm sure that people would like got over it like during the tournament and had a good time regardless. So hopefully,
Yep.
obviously, and again, it's one of those things where like the community is involving and the tournaments are involving, and this is part of it. Is that like EuroBowl, is such a special tournament. It is such a large scale tournament that we're gonna have some growing pains. Like there's gonna be things that go wrong or what wasn't thought about and whatsoever, and hopefully we're gonna learn from those experiences and we'll improve for the next one. So. Definitely looking forward to the next one in Poland. We'll see what those guys are going to be cooking up for us.
And definitely have to give it to the Ukrainians that they managed to get 8 players.
Yeah, that's
from Ukraine to play is one of those, at least on a personal level, that was very inspiring to see them there. And
yeah.
it was just, I hope they come next year as well.
Yeah, I'd certainly hope so. And by all indications, EuroBowl is growing in number of teams that are coming. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, Team Australia had a good enough time that they can. I don't know. Maybe hook in the Team New Zealand, like come in as newcomers for the next one, or something like that. So, but yeah, with that. I think that this is going to be the time where we stop before we go way off the tangent and start to just keep on talking through the night. So, thank you again for being here. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And we definitely want to wish good luck to the new Finnish captains. They are your cats to herd now. So hopefully you're good at that sort of a job. And as I always say, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, whatever happens to be the time of day for you. Have a good one.